Hey, my creative friends. My name is Shannon from shannonstudio.com. And we are talking creativity, and it can be hard to make time to be creative, hard to get past that hump maybe if we haven't been being creative. So we talk about ways to help ourselves be more creative. And then I also talk about a creative life, sort of what, the life I live, and being an artist living in a new place because we live in Sweden now. So I try to just kind of show a flavor of what a creative life is like, and then to talk about how you might incorporate things to have a more creative life, because creativity has so many benefits that make us happy and healthy that it's just like an easy no-brainer to add creativity so we can help ourselves. So if you've been following the last few days, I have been all week long working on the fabric collection. And so today was my deadline that I gave myself to turn it in. And woohoo, I turned it in 30 minutes ago. So what happened was, after I did the video last night, I stayed up and started again doing it after everybody went to bed. So I stayed up all night because I have those genes that can do that. So I stayed up all night, slept 2 hours this morning, and then got up, took Joseph to school, and then came home and started working on it again. And I thought I wasn't going to have to, last night after I stayed up all night, I was like, oh, this is great. I don't have that much to do. And then when I got back to what I was doing, it was like, I have way more than I thought. So, but I was a little tired this afternoon. So at 5 o'clock, after only a couple hours sleep, 5 o'clock today in the evening, I was like, I'm dragging. And so I got some almonds and stuff, and so I'm eating to stay awake. So the boyfriend gets home and I say to him, I'm eating to stay awake because I also got these little cracker things. And he's like, there's probably better ways to keep yourself awake besides eating. Hey, Trisha. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't even, So, and I don't really ever take caffeine pills. He uses them, but I've never taken one. And so a few minutes later, he comes out with like half. He goes, it's only a half a caffeine pill. So take this. And so I did. And now I'll probably be up for 2 more days. because I can stay up anyways. And so we'll see how that goes. I've never taken one, so I don't know. So, but, when you have deadlines and stuff, you have to just step up to meet them. And I've been working on this collection a while, and the struggle is kind of real. The struggle is real when you're trying to do something you've never done before. And you don't, and if you try something original, which a lot of times being creative does include being original, you don't know how it's going to turn out, or it turns out and that's not what I was looking for. There's just all kinds of things that enter into that creative process that are unknown. Let me see on my notes. And another thing is that, once you get something done, like working on it for this long, and I've been thinking about it for months. I haven't been actually working on it, but I've been thinking about it, trying to figure some things out. Just kind of let it percolate in the back of my mind. And Trisha says, oh no, good luck. I did finish, Trisha. You weren't on when I said I finished 30 minutes ago and sent the email off. It's easy once you do the art, or once you do the thing, and especially if you spent work and, a big time frame and there's a big commitment in it. Yay, thanks, Trisha. Then you become attached to it. It starts to become precious to you. Feel like it's like, ooh, it's my baby. I put so much into it. So I can't show you the designs I did this time, but I'll show you some of the rejects from the Love Letter collection. And I think I might have talked about it, but I don't know if I've showed some of the art. So some of the art, because I was thinking suitcases, Layla loved to travel, and there were, I was thinking suitcases and traveling, and, those were some of them. And it's not that these are bad, it's just that, so these were supposed to be able to be stacked on top of each other. And once you get them in, you can change colors. But I thought it was fun. I thought it was totally fun. And then I thought, okay, let's push it with the flowers to see if, if it makes a difference. Adding the flowers. Hey, Joan. So these are some of the ones that they didn't like. Now, when you are faced with things that people saying, these are your rejects. I mean, basically that's what it's saying. Rejects. You have to start going, disconnecting. So here also, was the ladybug print. Now, it was interesting because I did the ladybug print with all these ladybugs, but then they said, this ladybug is scary. It looks scary, so they took it out. And I think they didn't like this one because, it's a little fanny. So you have to realize that this is a collaboration. They have a vision, you have a vision, and you have to mesh your two visions together. And there's commercial concerns, and there's a style concern, and I have brand concerns. So there's a lot of things. Here's the other thing. Now, I love these cameras, and I could go, oh man, and have an issue, but it's like, it wasn't what they were looking for. It wasn't the flavor, the whatever that they were looking for. It's not that they're bad, it's just that it's not what they needed. So when you are dealing with things, even if it's not commercial, if you're dealing with other people looking at your art, and you can see that it's like, they don't like that. You have to put yourself in a different mindset when you are an artist that lets other people see your work. If you never let anybody see your work, you're good to go. Just move forward. But if you let anybody see your work, there's always that chance of being rejected, the rejects. So the first thing is that you can't be attached. You are not your art. I am not, this is not me. It comes out of me. Yesterday we talked about your genius that Elizabeth Gilbert refers to, and the genius that comes to help you. And it also takes the work outside of me as a person. It's like a collaboration, and I feel like a collaboration with the spirit. So you can't be too attached, because I know for sure some of the stuff I turned in, they're going to go, and I can already think of one of them that they're probably going to go, no. So, I have to disconnect myself from the art. I am not the art anyway, so just disconnect. Let's see. The other thing is, I do have certain skill sets, so I have to know, when do I push and say, no, the reason I want this design is because, and explain, or this really supports connecting some of the fabrics together. So I have to know when to fight for an idea and when not to, and let it go. And the only way I can do that is if I am disconnected from the work. And I don't look at it as I'm just fighting because I love these and this is my design and my little babies. So being able to step back and go, this logically makes sense for the collection because. And so you can have that dialogue with your collaborators so that you're getting a better product, or a better vision, or a better piece of art. So that's the thing, is that those are a few things, like don't be too attached. The designs are not too precious, and that's another thing, like with the ladybugs, we had to change the design. I can't hold on to, well, that's the way a ladybug really looks. They spread their wings like that. And, it's like, no, it's a design element. It's not a nature book. It's a design element. So I have to be willing to change designs. And you have to be willing to, or I have to be willing to know when to fight, when to let go, some of these things. So here's a couple of quotes from Wired to Create. It says, research has shown that people who view themselves as independent, like independent from society's sort of judging art. So Research has shown that people who view themselves as independent may be somewhat immune to the negative effects of rejection. I like that. Because really rejection can be painful and it can hurt and it can have all those feelings. And I think I had more of those feelings in the beginning, but now the process I've gone through in numerous arenas, so it's like, you know what, it's just art and it doesn't meet their needs. I can use it for something else. But you start to have this immunity to it. You start to not take it personally. So here's another one from the same book. Independent people not only may be resistant to the negative consequences of rejection, but indeed may be strengthened by experiences that reaffirm their sense of independence. And rejection is not just a catalyst for creativity. It can also be a byproduct. So the whole, them taking something out, pulling out the rejects and that sort of, it's part of the process, and it's not necessarily a bad part of the process. So that is, that's the process of the collection. I got it in. I expect to hear probably in a few days what they like and don't like, or what they think. I'm hoping some of it, I'm like, so we'll see. This is kind of the waiting part that I'm like, oh, look at it already. Tell me what you think. But, they have to get their little committee together and they have to have a process. So what I am going to show you, though, are these are two of the designs. Rose and Trisha did part of Free For All Friday with me. I turned them on the diagonal. And did the Free For All Friday with me. And so I took your designs and I put it in the fabric. So look at there. Now, if it makes it in, I kind of think this is the one that they're going to take out. But even if they take it out, it's a great design. I can use it for other things. But I wasn't thinking I was going to do this, but Rose suggested, oh, that would be a good fabric. And when she said that in the comments after one of the videos, I'm like, oh, Rose, you're right. And so I did. I took the designs, and then I thought, oh, I can take. So then Trisha could say, this is mine. Rose could say, oh, this is mine. And I was part of that process, and it makes it so fun. So I'm kind of excited. I know I can use these for other things, even if they don't use it. So even if they consider it a reject, it's okay. Trisha says, exciting, even the maybe they might like it. It is cool. It is cool that, where we can collaborate like that and pull something together. And I thought, because it looks great. I mean, they look great. And I showed some of my kids these, and the kids were going, that looks like Sweden. And I said, I know. It's, because they go, oh, it's a boat. So I added that imagery too. So I'm excited to see what they say. Again, there are going to be rejects. There are, and you know what? It's part of the process. It's okay. And it is kind of that catalyst, because then I go, okay, I really want to kind of meet what their expectations are, because it's a challenge for me to be able to go, that wasn't so good. They weren't looking for that. What were they looking for? And they usually explain very well why they do or don't like something. And they're really great to work with. So if they don't like something, they usually say exactly why, whether it's color, whether it's style, whether it's too much. Like these cameras, they like these, but for their perspective. So for me, this is like a secondary fabric, but for them, this is like a hero fabric, like the main fabric. And I could totally see that when it was worked up, that it's like, yeah, they view it as something different than what I view, because they have different needs than I do when I'm designing. So anyways, super excited tonight. Now I'm just like pumped up. So I don't know how the sleep's gonna come. But that's the tip, is to remember you are not your art. There are going to be rejects to whatever we do when we're creative. But to remember you have a creative heartbeat, so listen for it. And I will be back tomorrow. Maybe they'll answer and we'll know something by tomorrow, because I'll share some of what I can with you about the process and what's happening with this collection. So, and Jesse and I talked about some things today for future things about fabric and stuff, and I'm kind of excited about that too. Today's been an exciting day, and that's part of the creative process that's just super fun. So tomorrow, we'll check in tomorrow, see what's happening. So bye for now.